been hit. You can see
and again, and it's all over.
Oh, good left hand. He's out.
Right hand. That is it.
But Weissel trying to make the most of it, landing with, oh my God!
Time to counter.
The unpredictable. Chandler gets rocked by Patricio Pitbull.
The next one is going to be the 145 champ for UFC. Let's go. Let's do that. Let's see who is the best 145 on the planet.
In recent years, the UFC has brought in several talented fighters from Bellator and PFL, including fighters like Michael Chandler, Michael Venom Page, and even Ben Askren. However, when it comes to credentials, no one stands out quite like Patricio Pitbull.
I think Patricio Pitbull is the best fighter in Bellator history. Everything he did, the number of times he won the title, the consistency of his performances, how he would win rematches, this ability to kind of be mentally so incredibly strong.
Regarded as one of the most exciting fighters in MMA, the 43-fight veteran struggled to get fights within the PFL and grew frustrated, feeling his time was being wasted. Ultimately, he made the decision to sign with the UFC. However, at age 37, the big question remains: has he passed his prime, and can he still make an impact in the UFC's talent-stacked featherweight division? The former 3-time Bellator Featherweight Champion and 1-time Lightweight Champion has evolved over the years from a relentless brawler to a more calculated fighter, adopting a controlled, occasionally karate-based stance and relying more on counter-striking and minimizing damage. This adjustment has extended his longevity in the sport, as he previously absorbed a lot of damage. With his shorter frame competing against taller opponents, he has always been vulnerable to strikes.
The guys who have beaten him or have given him a lot of trouble tend to be the versatile fighters who, move in and out, are kind of tricky. When he's lost, it's the guy who can show him a lot of different looks. If you get in a firefight with Patricio Pitbull, he'll knock you out. Did it to Michael Chandler, who was a weight class bigger, really powerful puncher, knocked him out.
With his next fight set against 5'11" Taekwondo specialist Yair Rodriguez, it will be interesting to see how his UFC debut unfolds. Pitbull was born on the 7th of July 1987 and shares the exact same birthday as light heavyweight champion Alex Boatam Pereira. Growing up, Pitbull was always considered undersized, which led him to start training in jiu-jitsu to overcome the stigma of his size. As a teenager, he joined the renowned Shoot Box Academy, where he trained alongside MMA legends like Wanderlei Silva and Mauricio Shogun Rua. After racking up dominant wins on the regional circuit, he made his professional debut and went on to secure 12 straight victories. Eventually catching the attention of Bellator. In his Bellator debut at Bellator 15, he squared off against Will Romero, showcasing his impressive ground skills.
There's the tap and that's it. Game, set, match. Pitbull Freire.
He would go on to beat Wilson Hayes in his next fight, but would end up losing the tournament final by a close split decision against Bellator veteran Joe Warren. In 2011, he entered another Bellator tournament. This time, he would successfully win the tournament, first stopping Georgi Karakhanyan.
So still picking a good left hand.
And that is it. He's through to the semifinals.
Then folding Wilson Hayes with a vicious combo.
He's not in trouble.
He's in big trouble. Wilson Hayes is grappling, but now he's teeing off.
Hayes is in big trouble. The edge is in there, and that is it.
To finally top it off with a dominant decision win over Daniel Strauss.
Patricio Pitbull.
However, when facing Pat Curran for the undisputed featherweight belt 2 years later, he would fall short once again, losing via a close split decision. He lived up to his Pitbull nickname in his next fight, dismantling Jared Downing, who he dropped not once,
Jared Downing. Oh, good right hand.
not twice,
Those power shots from Pitbull. Man, another one.
but 3 times,
Oh, huge right hand.
before finishing him off.
I call that 4.
Big shot. This fight is over. Patricio Pitbull literally punching his way through to victory.
But it was in his next fight where he really showed his lightning fast hands.
He's out.
Right hand. That is it.
Patricio Pitbull is heavy-handed.
Now a semi-finalist, he faced off against judo black belt Fabricio Guerrero. After 2 more rounds of ragdolling his opponent, he left no doubt about the victory.
Big takedown. That's the end of the fight.
Featherweight tournament finalist, Patricio Pitbull.
In the final, he would face Justin Wilcox. After hurting Wilcox early, he would capitalize on a failed takedown. Once back to their feet, Pitbull smelled blood and secured his second Bellator Featherweight Tournament victory.
That hurt him. Oh, that
Big
really
right
hurt
hand
him.
from Pitbull. Now pound.
Man, Pitbull very heavy-handed. Wilcox in trouble again. He's flat. That is it.
A 2-time winner of the featherweight tournament, Patricio Pitbull.
Pitbull was scheduled to face Pat Curran in a rematch, this time for the Bellator Featherweight World Championship. Pitbull approached the fight with patience, as both fighters took their time feeling each other out in the first round. In the second, he turned up the pace, relentlessly attacking Curran's legs, landing sharp flurries, and even scoring a knockdown.
One thing. Oh, good left hook.
He carried that momentum into the third, staying aggressive and inflicting more damage, dropping Curran yet again. By the fourth, the punishment had started to take its toll, and in the fifth, Pitbull's power proved too much. Curran hit the canvas for the third time.
Because he certainly might.
Good shot.
Good shot.
Inside. Pitbull drops Curran.
Sealing a dominant victory for Patricio Pitbull and claiming a world championship belt.
So now what's your next goal?
Você ganhou o cinturão, você é campeão do mundo. Agora qual é sua meta? Recuperar meu corpo e me manter no topo. Wants to recover his body, he's gonna stay at the top. That's the plan.
Now the champion, Patricio Pitbull, had a murderous row of title challengers waiting for him. First one on the list was former foe Daniel Strauss, who he beat previously. However, this time he won't let it go to the judges. Come round 4, the Brazilian has seen enough. A takedown and a rear naked choke to top it off.
Pitbull now looking to finish with the rear naked choke.
He's got it.
13 remaining in the round. He got it. There is the tap.
In his second title defense, Patricio would face German fighter Daniel Weichel. Weichel, who was coming off a 7-fight win streak, proved no issues for Pitbull. After displaying some lightning-fast strikes, it was Weichel that caught Pitbull at the end of the round.
Good.
Nice right hand.
Weichel opening up his striking. There's another big shot.
Saved by the bell and recovered from the onslaught, Patricio anticipated the German's aggressive approach, patiently waiting for the perfect countering opportunity.
And a lightning strike come from behind win for Patricio Pitbull.
We've heard Daniel Strauss say that you have what he wants, what everybody wants in Bellator. Is that the next fight for you, or do you have another opponent, or have they lined up another opponent?
Not over until the fat lady sings, you know. If Daniel want my belt, I'm him. Come and get it. I'm ready for you.
All right, Daniel, do you want that fight right away, or how soon do you want to take it?
The fuck you think?
As is often the case in Bellator, top-ranked fighters frequently face each other multiple times due to the promotion's limited depth of elite talent. Pitbull and Daniel Strauss met for a third time after Pitbull's 2 previous victories. Strauss earned his title shot after defeating Henry Corrales. This time, Strauss executed a highly effective game plan, seamlessly mixing striking with grappling. He dropped Pitbull in the second round and maintained control for the rest of the fight, securing the Featherweight Championship. Frustrated by the loss, Pitbull was determined to come back stronger after submitting Henry Corrales.
Hanging on for dear life and it's done. Patricio Pitbull.
He set his sights on the lightweight division to challenge Michael Chandler, the man who had previously knocked out his brother, Patricky. But before that, he had to go through former UFC champion Benson Henderson. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned, as he suffered a leg injury during the fight. In 2017, Bellator granted Pitbull another shot at the featherweight title and a 4th and final showdown with Daniel Strauss. Having already defeated him twice, Pitbull was determined to settle the rivalry once and for all, this time without leaving it in the hands of the judges. The game plan was simple. Pitbull adopting a new bladed karate stance, aimed to dart in and out of range. After a failed takedown from Strauss, Pitbull seized the opportunity, locking in a guillotine choke.
This is how he beat Henry Corrales. It's over! Got him! He got it! Bellator Featherweight World Champion Patricio Pitbull!
Now the two-time Bellator Featherweight World Champion, he went on to defend his championship in a rematch against Daniel Weichel. A close back and forth, but it was Pitbull who got the nod in the end. Next, he defended his title against rising contender Emmanuel Sanchez. Despite Sanchez's submission expertise, Pitbull shut down every attack while delivering his own striking offense.
Oh, there's that big left hook. He is hurt bad. For the finish. They golden instant. Bellator Featherweight World Champion.
In 2019, Pitbull signed a contract extension with Bellator and was granted a shot at becoming a double champion against Michael Chandler, a longtime rival with unfinished business. Regarded as two of the greatest fighters in Bellator history, the build-up to their clash was intense, fueled by genuine animosity and bad blood between them.
Patricio Pitbull, first off, he doesn't like you very much.
We have some history. I beat his brother twice. Blood is very, very thick, very thick
right.
in the Pitbull family, and they protect their own. And he has made it very clear he wants to fight me. And he wants to take my head off.
On fight night, Patricio took the center of the cage in his karate stance, patiently timing Chandler's in and out movements.
The unpredictable Chandler gets rocked by Patricio Pitbull.
Less than a minute in, he landed a perfectly timed overhand.
Talk about unpredictable! The referee has intervened!
And just like that, a double champion was crowned.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Patricio Pitbull.
He was sleeping. He kissed the floor. So I was visualizing that moment. So when he did that jab, I already knew he was knocked out.
Now a double champion, Pitbull had a stacked lineup of contenders awaiting him at featherweight. First in line was Juan Archuleta, a rising contender in the division and a fresh challenge for Patricio. Pitbull controlled the cage in the first. A missed kick from Juan nearly saw the opportunity for Pitbull for a submission.
Via triangle choke. Archuleta gets tagged with that right hand. Archuleta.
In the third round, Pitbull dropped Archuleta and controlled him for the remainder of the round, even coming close to a guillotine at the end of the round.
Oh, the bell saves.
In the fourth, Archuleta got dropped again. A late takedown in the fifth sealed another successful title defense.
Fashion.
And every time I've watched Pitbull.
And joining the 7 others and putting an exclamation point on.
This also broke the record for most consecutive featherweight title defenses in Bellator. 1 year later, he was lined up against Portuguese fighter Pedro Carvalho, a member of Conor McGregor's camp at SBG. Patricio wasn't impressed and hurt Carvalho early in the round, dropping him a second time before detonating a bomb on Carvalho's face.
He has been hit, you can see and again, and it is all over! Just like that! Patricio Pitbull!
His next opponent was a familiar one, Emmanuel Sanchez, a fighter Pitbull had previously defeated, but who had now earned his way back to a title shot. Patricio already knew the recipe and wasted no time. A perfectly timed counter, and the Brazilian smelled blood.
First of a 3-punch combination. Striking technique. Sanchez with the hook.
A trademark guillotine, and Sanchez was out cold.
He is out. Pitbull becomes the first.
Patricio Pitbull.
After the fight, it was announced that Pitbull had vacated the lightweight championship to avoid standing in the way of his brother, Patricky. Now fully focused on featherweight, he had a big challenge ahead. A new dominant contender had arisen. AJ McKee. McKee, on a 17-fight win streak, had finished his last 2 opponents in the first round and seemed to have no weaknesses, boasting a top-tier ground game and an elite striking game. Hailed as one of the biggest fights in the promotion's history, this showdown promised fireworks. With $1 million on the line, tensions run high.
Bro,
Told
I'm
all
gonna
the
break
media
you. I'm
that
gonna break
I am
you.
on drugs.
Stop talking.
Your father said that.
You remember you said you're gonna
Is
beat my ass in
disrespectful.
front of my father? I'm gonna beat your ass in front of your wife and
said
kids. How
to
about
me.
that?
And I'm gonna beat you in front of your father.
Yeah.
And he'll do nothing.
We can make a
about
family
that.
fair ass whooping too. You started. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh my.
You gonna whoop my ass in front of my father?
I'll whoop your ass in front of your family too. And I'll be
Whatever, bro. You already know this. Coming home with me, baby.
As fight night approached, the bad blood only intensified. Both fighters started cautiously in the opening 2 minutes.
Notice who is moving who back. Now he takes it. He's seriously hurt.
But McKee seized the moment with a stunning head kick that rocked Pitbull. Wasting no time, he capitalized on the opportunity and brought the Brazilian's title reign to an end. An immediate rematch was granted for the Brazilian at Bellator 277. McKee opened with a push kick, quickly asserting control over the center of the cage. However, Pitbull held his ground, landing clean shots. As the fight progressed into the second and third rounds, Pitbull mixed up his attacks, briefly stunning McKee and nearly locking in a guillotine choke.
Now, but that lands a right hand. Need to heed the words of the Wu-Tang Clan. Protect your neck as Pitbull under a minute left in the third. And McKee pops his head out.
Pitbull controlled the rest of the fight and reclaimed his championship belt.
New and now 3-time Bellator Featherweight World Champion.
Having been in the game for so long, Patricio Pitbull faced a new wave of young, hungry title contenders. The first in line was Adam Boric, a dangerous Hungarian fighter with an impressive 18-1 record and a rising force in the division. Pitbull's experience proved to be the difference, nullifying Boric's offense and controlling the fight with a seamless blend of striking and takedowns.
For the winner by unanimous decision, and still Bellator Featherweight World Champion.
Up next was a high-stakes champion versus champion showdown in a special 3-round Bellator versus Ryzen event. Kleber Koiki, the reigning Ryzen champion, had claimed the featherweight title in his previous bout against Yuntaro Ushiku. A renowned submission specialist, he had finished his last 7 opponents via submission, making him a formidable threat. The opening round was largely uneventful, aside from a few spectacular throws. In the second, Pitbull showcased his lightning-fast and precise striking, targeting both body and head with precision. In the end, it was Bellator that emerged victorious. In 2023, Pitbull dropped down a weight class to challenge Sergio Pettis for the undisputed Bellator Bantamweight Championship. However, things didn't go as planned. Pettis, with a noticeable speed advantage, outstruck Pitbull throughout the fight. Despite the setback, Pitbull wasted no time getting back in action, stepping in on short notice just a month later to face Chihiro Suzuki at 155 pounds, a catchweight bout on the Bellator vs Ryzen card. However, not fully recovered from his previous title fight, Pitbull struggled to find his rhythm against the faster and taller Suzuki. A lightning-fast straight right hit the target and spelled the first KO loss in his career. In March 2024, Patricio faced Canadian fighter Jeremy Kennedy on short notice in his final fight for the promotion. This bout served as his last featherweight title defense. In the first, Pitbull controlled the center of the cage and started chopping the legs of the Canadian.
Ouch! This is clearly the right weight class for Pip.
He's gonna kick, be careful.
That's definitely that damage.
The damage began accumulating in the second, making it increasingly difficult for Kennedy to put weight on his lead leg.
Kennedy's getting the hands going though.
But it was in the third where Pitbull started landing shots through the guard of Kennedy.
Jab and across, yeah,
right hand.
that's it.
The damage continued to mount, and the Canadian could no longer withstand the punishment.
Doubled! Pitbull hammering away! Knees! Pouring it on with a minute left! 3! Jeremy Kennedy surviving! And how?
Oh, this is it.
Electric landing!
This is it.
Pitbull with the flurry!
After more than 15 years with the Bellator promotion, and at age 37, he finally makes his long-awaited UFC debut. But is he past his prime, and does he have what it takes to make a run in a talent-stacked featherweight division? We will soon find out.